Hi guys, I'm Yuri and this is Quarantalks. In today's episode, we'll be talking about how people's job and the general workforce have been affected by the pandemic. Stay tuned. COVID-19 has forced companies all over the world to shift to remote work. In light of these events, we contacted several individuals, each giving their first-hand account of what it's like to work and live in the age of coronavirus. So let's hear their truth. So everyone, what do you all do and how has the pandemic affected you?
In my master's degree, I'm studying international marketing. I'm about to finish that. And then I'm going to be doing business analytics later this fall. And my hope was that this summer I could get myself a really awesome internship.
So I'm from the Czech Republic and I came here at the end of January for the traineeship program within Omni Hotels and Resorts to Jacksonville. Everything happened like so fast. And second day they told me I can book my flight home, that we are not working there anymore.
A ton of companies have canceled their internships, or even if they accepted me, they're like, do you want to come in summer 2021? And I don't want that. I want my internship right now.
All the employees got furloughed, so nobody was working. The hotel was basically shut down. And I contacted my agency that I came here through, and they set me up interview with Omni Resort in Hilton Head Island. So that's how I basically got here.
I'm dentist. I didn't make any money during 3 months.
I work in scientific publishing. We're having a lot of papers published and it's really important to get those done. So yeah, we have tons of stuff to do.
I work for a TV production company in Miami. I do HR. To me, it was really a surprise. I was coming back from a skiing trip in Aspen. The week after I got back was when they did the mandated quarantine.
I work as an HR journalist. I've lost half of my holiday entitlement and some of my trips had to be cancelled. It really demotivates me.
I work for a private university in Vienna. I am the admissions bachelor manager with the hotel management, tourism management specializations. Yeah, we are struggling. There have been some cases when students withdrew their applications, so...
No, right now I don't work. So both of my jobs that were severely affected.
Was really bad for recruitment. You know, they have to do all these webinars, they have to try to reach out to people, but it's not easy to get people on board when, you know, you cannot have this personal contact.
I am a TV producer and I was working currently on a couple of Netflix projects. Netflix suspended all the production across the globe.
We were lucky enough to be able to have our full team work from home, except for 4.
Back in Greece, which is my birth country, I have my own hotel and I decided to pretty much close them down.
I had to do in Telemundo one chapter in a TV show. I couldn't go to do my work because it was in the middle of the pandemic.
We still did virtual open day, which usually is on the campus, of course, and it's just not the same. You cannot do the same impact, you know, on others.
I have an online business, which really helped that I have a passive income. It's a network marketing company, so it's very important to create more streams of income when a situation like this happens.
So I work in St. Agnes. I'm one of their pediatric ER doctors in their emergency department. It was a little challenging. What we did initially while we were waiting for more masks, for more testing capability, for more ventilator equipment, is essentially triage people. So what we would tell people is, unless you are super duper sick, don't come, call your doctor, call us, and we can maybe try to figure out whether or not you need to come in. When we didn't know how sick people would get and we didn't know how infectious it was, we didn't want people to come in and then get the virus from the hospital. And then the people who did come, we obviously prioritized the sickest people first. But once we started to, what we say, flatten the curve, we had more hospital beds, we had more testing capabilities.
What was your protection against the virus?
So from the scarcity of equipment part, that was really challenging because it made a lot of the medical team nervous to work in the hospital, right? Because you can imagine if you have to see 10, 20, 30 COVID patients and you're using like a a flimsy mask or a shirt as your PPE, that's kind of nerve-wracking, right? Because some of our nurses are elderly, some of our nurses have diabetes.
In the first 15 days, all the masks, gloves was sold out. We could not buy. Over this, we put a plastic uniform that we change between every patient. Also, double mask.
Some of the younger doctors and some of the younger nurses, if we knew that the patient was most likely COVID, they would be the ones assigned to those patients, and then we would minimize time in the room.
I open only for the emergency, and we filter on the call by form.
And we did have some of them that got the virus, but luckily it was just kind of like a minor cold. You know, it was usually some of the younger people who got it, and they had fever, cough, they didn't come to work for 2 weeks, and they ended up recovering.
Especially in the food and beverage, I feel like comfortable. Everybody has to wear a mask, and we have to wear gloves. They measure our temperature. If somebody's paying by card and using the pin on the machine, then you have to sanitize it after each use.
Did the government provide any support?
I was one of the first that applied for that, but because everyone else applied at the same time, New York State was struggling significantly to be able to provide support and everything into all the people.
So we are here on J1 visa. They didn't offer any help, because we basically had an option to go home.
The government tried to help us, and also with the salary with the employer, because we didn't have to pay them.
It took 2.5 months to first see the money in my bank account, and I'm so happy that I'm from the minority of people that actually had some savings.
I have my office in a shopping center in a mall, so I didn't have to pay almost nothing.
No, I didn't receive anything.
My friend, she's on the same program, for example, in Pennsylvania. They told them, they have a free accommodation. They were giving them every single day, 3 times a day, free food. I think $1,000 in every 2 weeks. That's different experience than I have.
No, although government introduced a package that could really help bigger organizations, but I didn't get anything out of it.
The government only covered the salary of my employers. Not full salary, was less, but and this was a help for us, because imagine we have 13 people working here.
How's home office working out for you?
The work from home is quite new to me.
This was the first time that I worked from home consistently over a span of 3 months.
All my housemates are at home, so we're doing it together. Like I say, because they're here, people are here, I found it a little less lonely than I thought I would have done otherwise.
I didn't feel any different, to be honest. I could work as efficient as I was in the office. The only thing is I gained more time because there was no need to be in traffic or get ready for work and drive.
Even though it has been stressful, especially managing a team, because I manage a team of 8 people, so doing that remotely is really hard.
I've been doing my classes online, and everything seems to be working.
So it's much harder to use my laptop than it would be using my monitors and things. I mean, my company did say that I could buy monitors if I wanted to. I just chose not to because it felt like any investment I made into equipment for this period was kind of like me admitting that it's going to be going on for a long time. Blatant denial, but I think on some level I wanted to maintain that denial.
So for the next semester we can choose already if we want to do online or on campus, and I'm going to choose probably online because it seems to be working really well.
I spoke to several managers and they all feel that we were as efficient as if we were to be at the office. And a lot of employees actually became happier because they gained more time. So usually between driving and getting ready and all the grooming that it takes to be presentable at the office, obviously I'm sure that some people cooked in the middle of their workday and ended up taking 2 hours instead of 1, which is fine because they would respond to emails at 10 o'clock at night.
Absolutely, I think home office has a great outcome and a really good influence on people. We have a better work-life balance, which is really important.
And also the breaks. It gives you enough energy to refocus again. But whereas when you're working 8 hours, it's kind of hard to keep a concentration for 8 hours consecutively. which is why there's a lot of office chatter and people go to have coffee in the break room and they'll go to their car and take a nap because we need a break.
Did anyone get laid off?
My workers, they are still with the government help, so we don't pay for them.
I know about 2 people who got laid off. Others had different restrictions.
But when they come again, maybe we cannot afford the salary.
No. So not. I don't think anyone anywhere in the company they did it, but not on my team or anyone I know.
International students will get a chance to get jobs, but also it might be just a little difficult given that they laid off so many Americans. And I know with everything that's happening, they're going to look inside first before they look outside.
Personally, I wasn't really affected, although I also had to take pro rata holidays.
Well, I was very fortunate. None of us lost their jobs in our company. In Austria, a lot of people lost their jobs. They put you basically on half.